On the Brian Mbeumo situation, let me repeat once again that Man United remain confident, Man United remain optimistic. They still don't have an agreement with Brentford for Brian Mbeumo, but the conversation is still ongoing. Manchester United, according to my sources, are prepared to improve that proposal. It's not just about numbers, it's not just about the transfer fee, it's also about the structure of the deal. Payment terms, installments, also add-ons, easy, difficult add-ons, how to activate it. Man United are working on all these details of the deal in order to try to reach an agreement with Brentford. So talks remain underway between Man United and Brentford. Man United remain hopeful to striking a deal for Brian Mbeumo, so conversation remain absolutely ongoing. Then we will be following all the steps of this story, but for sure Brian Mbeumo wants to go to Manchester United. Brian Mbeumo is giving more than a priority to Manchester United. It's a clear choice, and Brentford are aware of that. So let's follow the developments of that story. But for sure, Brian Mbeumo remains a topic, a strong topic internally at Manchester United. Just to close for today on Man United, guys, also Rasmus Højlund. We know there was a strong interest from Inter, who made contact with the player side, with Manchester United since May. But what happens? Inter are signing Bonni, a young talented striker from Parma. And for Højlund, at the moment, they still don't have any sort of agreement with Manchester United. Inter wanted to start with a loan deal with a buy option to become obligation with quite easy conditions. Man United insists permanent transfer or the player is staying. So there is still a gap between the parties. At the moment, nothing has been agreed. Then Inter young striker Pio Esposito is developing very well. He scored against River Plate. And so maybe Inter are revisiting their ideas for the striker's position for next season. And so at the moment, the Rasmus Højlund interest remains from Inter. But the deal is still in standby in this moment. It's not advancing club to club, also because of Man United conditions.
What's turning into a bit of a transfer saga with regard to Manchester United and their pursuit of the Brentford forward Brian Mbeumo. Their headline says, Brian battle, United ready to offer £200,000 a week, but Brentford will not be moved. Charlie, is it inevitable that we're going to see Brian Mbeumo in the red of Manchester United come the start of the new season?
Yeah, I think we will. It feels, although it is a saga, we're going to get to the end of it eventually. It appears as though he'd rather play for Man United than Tottenham. There's interest from Spurs, although not a bid. And although Brentford have waved away, 55 plus 7.5 million today, they want 65 million. They're going to get it. Great signing for Manchester United. Equally, Brentford are in a strong position. They know that the United want this player, so I don't think Brentford will be in any great rush. Obviously, they've got a few other issues going on at their club at the moment as well. But I think United, when they do get Mbeumo, quite clearly he's told them that he wants to go there. That will be a strong addition for them.
Yeah. Mark, Charlie says strong addition and that Mbeumo is set on going to Manchester United. Look, in the past few years, when pundits and experts are talking about Manchester United's recruitment, they've been pretty critical. And what has been aimed at United is that they've been signing players that haven't really got that Premier League experience. But look, Matheus Cunha is in, and Mbeumo looks inevitable. Are you starting to see lessons being learned at Manchester United about the recruitment now?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously the two obvious strikers that you mentioned there that they've picked up the last couple of years, Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, both came from Serie A, mid-ranking clubs in Serie A that didn't really translate their, albeit patchy form in Serie A to the Premier League. So they were never really going to cut it, considering how few goals they scored in Italy. So I think they've identified the fact that they need a massive upgrade in quality up front, and also a sense that they're going to sign players who can drop straight into the team and know what the Premier League's about. You can't have players who need a kind of an acclimatisation process. So obviously, Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo both know the Premier League. They've both got great track records in the Premier League, but that comes at a cost. And United are finding that you can't just pick up Brian Mbeumo for £50 million. You're going to have to go the distance, and if not pay what Brentford want, go very close to it. But I mean, they are pretty much, within £2 or £3 million of a deal being done now. And Mbeumo's made it clear that he wants to go to United. And when that happens, when a player says, I want to go and I want to play for this club, that's where he ends up. That's inevitable. So, I think Brentford are pushing it as far as they can. But I think, as Charlie says, he'll end up at United pretty soon. And then they can move on to the next target, which will probably be someone in midfield. But yeah, they are looking for players who've got Premier League experience that can go straight into the team and not have a a 6-month, 12-month wait before they show they can do it.
Charlie, there's been lots of speculation and lots of talk about how many changes Manchester United are going to need, not only incomings but outgoings as well. They clearly want to be challenging at the top of the league. How many windows realistically do you think this is going to actually take? Because Ruben Amorim has been very clear that this is a big job that United have got to do, both on and off the pitch.
Yeah, it's obviously not going to be sorted this summer, is it? Nigh on impossible for them to be where they want to be, and that's to be not just challenging for Champions League spot, to be challenging for the title. And of course, as we know, United are way off. Another season they could have got relegated. So I think United fans will be patient. They're going to have to be patient, but equally it does make it easier, as Mark said, when you're signing players who are proven in the Premier League, and these two signings are exactly that. I mean, it's pretty obvious, really, isn't it? That it will make the manager's job easier and will make that improvement quicker by signing players like Mbeumo, who had another terrific season. For Brentford, scored 20 goals. He will hit the ground running. There's no doubt about that. And let's hope United's next couple of signings will be, similar. But equally, I think it's going to be this time next year before we can really look at the success of these two windows and really judge where United are going to be. But look, they're going to improve. It's inevitable that Man United will improve. They certainly can't get any worse, that's for sure. I think United fans do have some cause for optimism, but they're going to have to be patient.
Yeah,
Manchester United look set to spend huge amounts this summer as Ruben Amorim attempts to transfer his squad. The Red Devils have already forked out around $60 million this summer for the signing of Matheus Cunha. But United's business is not over yet. They continue to chase Brentford's Bryan Mbeumo and are closing in on a deal for the Cameroon forward. A defender, a striker, and a new midfielder could also be on the agenda before the end of the window, so it could be a very hectic few months. Exits may also be important as United chiefs attempt to finance their dramatic rebuild. Loanees Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Antony, among others, have all been linked with permanent exits. With that being said, take a look at the latest transfer news and rumours from the red half of Manchester. Ruben Amorim is keen for Man United to complete a deal for Brentford star Mbeumo sooner rather than later. They are hopeful of getting a move over the line in time for the forward to join in with pre-season. United have submitted a second bid in the region of around $55 million to sign Mbeumo, but there is still a delay over the potential add-ons Brentford could receive. The Bees want the deal to reach as much as $63 million. Mbeumo has already reportedly agreed personal terms with his new employers and is set to bank around $200,000 per week during his time at Old Trafford. United's pre-season starts on July 7th.